The United States is a premier travel destination, but if flying in from Europe or Asia, you need to know that the environment operates on a completely different scale. You are trading compact cities for massive interstate highways. Many first-time visitors plan multi-state itineraries based on assumptions from home. They assume public transit is cheap, the infrastructure will be walkable, and the price tags are exact. The operational reality is much more complicated. The U.S. is heavily car-dependent. Vast stretches of land separate major destinations, and the true cost of your trip is shielded behind layers of hidden fees and taxes. To plan a trip that doesn't blow your budget or leave you stranded, we have to deconstruct the hidden logistics of American travel. Every visitor faces a central trade-off right at the planning stage. You have to choose between geographic breadth, trying to see the entire country, or experiential depth. If you choose breadth, you commit to navigating unpredictable domestic flight schedules, restrictive baggage policies, and a high risk of logistical burnout checking off famous landmarks. Focusing on depth by picking a single region minimizes the daily friction of transit. It also keeps your budget highly efficient, giving you time to uncover local trails and neighborhood spots. Understanding these hidden operational realities up front is the only way to avoid booking non-refundable mistakes that push your actual spend far past your expected budget. Before you even pack, you have to clear strict administrative hurdles. If your passport belongs to one of the 42 countries in the visa waiver program, you still cannot board a flight without an approved ESTA, even for a brief layover. You also need to verify your passport's expiration date. For many incoming travelers, the U.S. requires a minimum of 6 months of validity remaining on your passport past your date of entry. Ignoring these specific rules means you will be denied entry at the border, resulting in a total loss of your flights, hotels, and entire trip investment. Then there is health insurance. If you hold a standard worldwide or expat insurance policy, check the fine print. Many of these policies explicitly exclude the United States because the domestic healthcare system is astronomically expensive. Without U.S.-specific administrative clearances and dedicated health coverage, minor oversights easily turn into total logistical and financial ruin. Once you arrive, you have to navigate the geography. It is incredibly common for visitors to land on the dense East Coast and expect to easily hop over to Miami or Texas in a single trip. But look at the geography out west. The distances between iconic sites like the Grand Canyon and Yellowstone are massive. Driving between these different biomes takes days, not hours. To bridge these vast distances, many travelers fall into the financial trap of relying entirely on budget domestic airlines. Carriers like Spirit or Frontier offer incredibly low base fares, but the trade-off is extreme inflexibility. They will charge high add-on fees for every single variable, from a carry-on bag to choosing your seat. Furthermore, these budget airlines often route passengers into secondary, remote airports. You might save on the ticket, but you'll spend the difference on a long-distance taxi ride just to reach the city center. For ground transport, do not expect robust train or bus networks. Outside of major hubs like New York, standard public transit is often inconvenient and sparse. Because of the heavy reliance on cars, public transit infrastructure is historically underfunded. For most itineraries, budgeting for a rental car or daily rideshares is effectively mandatory. If you attempt a multi-state checklist without a massive travel budget to back it up, you will spend the majority of your vacation sitting inside transit vehicles instead of actually exploring. Dining out introduces another layer of hidden economics. The sticker price you see printed on a menu is almost never what you pay because local and state taxes are added at the register. Then there is the mandatory tipping culture. In a sit-down restaurant, leaving a 20 to 25% gratuity is now considered the standard baseline for service. This requires constant mental math. Between taxes and high tip percentages, a meal is significantly more expensive than the numbers advertised on the board. This protocol extends to your accommodation as well. If you want to tip hotel housekeeping, you need to leave $2 to $5 in cash every single day, rather than a lump sum at the end, because the staff rotates daily. The direct benefit to these high costs is the massive volume of food you receive. American restaurant portions, especially in casual dining, are famously large. You can highly subsidize your food budget by simply splitting a main course or asking for a to-go box. Taking your leftovers home is completely accepted and carries zero social stigma. This flowchart maps out the required tipping across the service sector, from bars to delivery drivers. Mastering this unwritten code and keeping small bills on hand to ensure hotel staff are paid daily prevents your spending from spiraling out of control. When it comes to lodging, budget travelers should know that outside of major urban centers, the U.S. lacks the communal backpacker hostel culture you find across Europe or Southeast Asia. Your primary budget alternatives are traditional, car-centric motels built along highways, or mid-tier corporate hotel chains like Holiday Inn Express. Staying loyal to one of these corporate chains means sacrificing boutique charm, but it gives you consistent quality, protects you from overpriced tourist traps, and allows you to stack reward points. Culturally, prepare for high-energy interactions. American customer service is highly enthusiastic, with constant check-ins and smiling, which can be a genuine shock if you're used to a more reserved culture. Locals are often very open to small talk, but there is a strict boundary. Absolutely avoid discussing politics. It is a highly divisive topic that will immediately ruin an otherwise friendly conversation. Managing your expectations for lodging quality and understanding these daily social boundaries will prevent jarring culture shock on your first trip. This quadrant chart maps pace against budget. The ambitious optimizer requires heavy investment for flights and cars, risking travel burnout. The budget-conscious profile focuses on a single region, splits meals, and hunts for free entry days. The trade-off for this group is abandoning the fantasy of the iconic coast-to-coast American road trip in favor of actual financial solvency. But be aware, even a hyper-local strategy requires planning. Highly demanded regional attractions like Alcatraz in San Francisco or permits for national park hikes must be booked months in advance. Choose a single region. Over budget by 30% to absorb tips and taxes. Accept that experiencing the sheer diversity of the United States is a multi-trip endeavor, and your first visit will be infinitely better for it.